All right, it's Tuesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, the last day of the year, and we have a very important broadcast today. So much happening in the United States and around the world. Over the last few days, Americans and Europeans are reporting this thick, low-hanging fog that hasn't dissipated. It's freaking people out. People are reporting physical and mental symptoms when they go outside and they're around it, when they walk through it. This story, it's going viral right now. People are calling it FogVid 2024, like Cove. We're going to show you some videos that people keep posting. Also, Donald Trump releases this epic New Year's Eve troll of President Joe Biden after establishment Washington apparently has received their new marching orders. Joe Biden, no longer in the club. The media's turned on him. His party has turned on him. Even progressive establishment historians have turned on him, which is the last thing a lame duck president wants to see. Historians saying history won't be kind to Joe Biden. Wait till you see this. But before we get started, thank you for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps out the channel. And consider subscribing so you don't miss these regular updates. So reports from across the United States and Europe continue to come in of this mysterious, thick, lingering blanket of fog that's freaking people out. This story is going viral on social media right now. It's being dubbed FogVid 2024 due to the physical and mental symptoms associated with walking through it. People experiencing apparently cold or flu-like symptoms after only brief exposure to it. Now look, I haven't actually seen this fog. Witnesses are saying that it also has this distinct odor associated with it, almost like a burnt smell. It's very freaky. Let me know in the comments if you've seen this and where. I'm just curious. I've been in South Florida for the holidays. I haven't seen any fog. But there are reports more north of me. Here's a video from St. Petersburg, Florida. Johnny St. Pete posted this, a photo of what it usually looks like from his balcony, and then what it's been like for the last week. It's pretty freaky. Take a listen to this guy, though, walking through it, explaining the taste and smell associated with it. Watch this.
All right, so it's crazy foggy right now. But that's not the weird part, okay? Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate, and it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks, and like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird. And so I'm going for my walk, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it smells not right. And I'm 41. I've been through fog. This is something different.
Yeah, very scary stuff. This lady woke up, she said, in East Texas and said the fog leaves this strange foam-like substance in her pool, saying she's never seen anything like that happen before. She's lived at this property for 11 years, treated her pool the same way with the same chemicals for 11 straight years, never seen anything like it. And there's tons of videos like these. They're all over the place. So again, let me know in the comments if you've seen this fog by you or not. And look, the reason I'm even talking about it, showing it, first of all, the media is not, and most importantly, it's because I personally don't believe the federal government to tell us if something is happening. Even if they knew, would they tell us? I don't think so. I mean, that's just my opinion. We saw what they did after the East Palestine train derailment. That was a crime against humanity, in my opinion. The EPA, the state of Ohio, Norfolk Southern, all working together, working in concert to cover up the chemical detonation that took place in that town. That's all the evidence I need to not trust these people. Residents at the time reporting the water being discolored, smelling like chemicals, animals and pets dying, people reporting rashes after showering, and the EPA with the governor of Ohio claiming everything was just fine. Remember this?
And obviously livestock issues, fish dying within that area as well. What I did want to ask you a very frank question. It has been told to those residents in that area, it is safe to drink the water. So my question for you, Ohio Governor, would you drink the water in East Palestine? If a resident asked you to today, are you comfortable with saying that you would drink that water?
Oh, absolutely. Look, we've tested it.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the that they burn off, the shit they burn off in East Palestine. This is not fucking storm clouds. Look at it. This is over Darlington.
In another story, we're learning more behind Trump's decision to endorse Mike Johnson as the next Speaker of the House. This was a calculated decision by Trump, all right? Instead of risking starting his administration off with chaos within his own party, it makes more sense to stay united and get down to work. Now, look, I'm not happy about Mike Johnson. I really don't like what he did last week. I don't like the guy anymore. I don't trust the guy anymore. Trump posting this, though, on Truth Social this morning. We just won a historic landslide, a mandate from the American people, but Senate Dems are organizing to improperly stall and delay the confirmation process of many of our great nominees. They will try all sorts of tricks starting very soon. Republicans must not allow them to do that. We have a country to run and many big problems to solve, mostly created by Dems. Republicans, be smart and tough. Now, from Trump's point of view, this makes the most sense, as wormy Mike Johnson just last week was dealing with the Dem leadership under the table to pass that massive omnibus package, pass it behind all of our backs, by the way. Right now, Trump's number one objective is getting inaugurated on time, having his election certified on time. Just 6 more days until that happens, and only 20 days until he's in office. You can't do that if you're fighting with each other. All we can do now, since Trump just endorsed Johnson, all we can do at this point is hold Mike Johnson's feet to the fire, which I will be doing with this small platform and this channel. Here he was after securing Trump's endorsement. Take a listen to this.
I'm really humbled and honored to have President Trump's endorsement for Speaker again. He and I work so well together, so closely together, and we have a lot of big things to do. He recognizes that what we need right now, I think my colleagues recognize this as well, is a proven fighter and a true MAGA conservative, but also someone who can work with every single member of our very diverse House GOP so that we can get President Trump's priorities over the line. That's what's ahead of us. I think this could be the most consequential presidency and Congress of the modern era because we have to fix everything, and it has to start on day one, so we can't waste any time.
And right now, Dems are in a scramble. They are turning on one another. They have no leader. Head of their party can't even form a coherent sentence anymore, and everyone's turned on him, turned on Joe Biden. The media's turned on him. Dems have turned on him. Even presidential historians, establishment historians, the type of historians who love to write glowing reviews of Democrat presidents, are going on corporate media saying Joe Biden is leaving office as one of the weakest presidents in U.S. history. Even MSNBC, CNN, CBS, all of them openly admitting it now, that they've apparently gotten the memo, blame everything on Joe Biden. That's their new strategy. Watch.
One of the things we also do in the year-end correspondence roundtable is dig into what was undercovered or underreported. Jan?
Undercovered, underreported. That would be, to me, Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline that became undeniable in the televised debate.
At the presidential debate with Donald Trump.
Unquestioned. And, you know, it's starting to emerge now that his advisors kind of managed his limitations. It's been reported in the Wall Street Journal for 4 years, and yet he insisted that he could still run for president. We should have much more forcefully questioned whether he was fit for office for another 4 years, which could have led to a primary for the Democrats. It could have changed the scope of the entire election. Yet, still, incredibly, we read in the Washington Post that his advisors are saying that he regrets that he dropped out of the race. You know, that he thinks he could have beaten Trump. And I think that is either delusional or they're gaslighting.
President
American
Biden
people.
has said repeatedly he was sick during the debate June 27th in Atlanta, and he's always been fine, and he leaves fine. That is his position, the position of many of his top aides as well, even though there is that reporting.
Robert Costa.
But here's the thing. None of this was Joe's fault. It was the media's fault. It was his party's fault for lying to all of us for so long, gaslighting the American people. The definition of gaslighting is a psychological manipulation to make you question your own perception of reality, what you know to be true, which is exactly what corporate media has done for the last 4 years with Joe Biden. And leave it to Trump to point this out. President-elect Trump releases this epic video montage demonstrating how they did this. This is great. Roll the tape.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
You're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with him.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker.
The president is focused. He's detail-oriented. He's always thinking about the big picture.
He is engaging. He is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
And I'm often with him on foreign trips. He's at the top of his game.
So he has a vision. He has knowledge. He has judgment. He has a strategic thinking.
I met with the president, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide meetings of staff and cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
I would just tell you that I meet frequently with the president, and every single time I meet with him, he is just fine.
But he is, again, knowledgeable, wise.
Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing, incredible command of the details.
He is sharp. He is on top of things.
There is nothing to these challenges, these suggestions that somehow he's not sharp and he's not capable.
We see Joe Biden up close. We know how attuned he is to the issue.
And you're going to see how smart he is and the experience he has. I say his age is an asset.
Aha! He's wise.
Yes, he's wise. He has wisdom. He has experience.
And his experience, because of his age and his wisdom, has been invaluable to this country.
A lot of countries, people who've been in office a longer period of time are praised for their wisdom.
I have seen a lot of 72-year-olds not as capable as this 80-year-old.
It is hard for us to keep up with this president.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. He's fine. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
And this kind of sense that he's not ready for this job is just a bucket of BS that's so deep.
Let me know in the comments who's more at fault, Joe Biden, the Democrats, or the media. In my opinion, it's the media, hands down. It's their job to inform us about what's going on with our elected leaders. Obviously, Democrats lie, politicians lie, but the media is supposed to tell us. They're called the Fourth Estate for a reason, but instead of doing their job, they thought it was more important to prevent Trump from winning. And it's even worse than that. They didn't just ignore the story, ignore Biden's mental decline. They lied about it. They were caught gaslighting us, trying to manipulate us into thinking that we're crazy. What we're seeing isn't reality, that Joe Biden's actually as healthy and fit as a horse, that he's a better version of himself than he's ever been. It's disgraceful. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.